A very good evening to one and all. On behalf of IAP technical team, I, Dr. Rutra Mohan, welcome you to this webinar on stress management for physiotherapists. We are live on IAP India YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube and Facebook pages to get regular updates from IAP. Today's webinar is being hosted by IAPWC Palghar district of Maharashtra state. The moderators for today's webinar are Dr. Ila Vagela, Dr. Aditi Pathak, and Dr. Naseem RVK. So I request the moderators to please start with the session.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Few guidelines for attendees before we start. Please put your questions or queries in the chat box. Questions will be answered in the last section of webinar. I would like to request Physio Naseem to take over, please.
Hello.
I can't hear. I can't hear.
Hello.
Yeah, Poonam ma'am, I can hear you. Uttara ma'am.
Yes. Is Dr. Ila?
Uttara ma'am. Can you hear Naseem?
Dr. Ila,
Uttara ma'am,
not audible. Can you continue, please?
Naseem is not audible, ma'am.
She's not.
Okay.
Okay, please take over.
Okay, I'll take over. Okay, I would first like to introduce IAPWC. IAPWC was started on 30th May 2018. It functions under the guidance of National Head Dr. Ruchi Vashne and IAP President Executive Dr. Sanjeev Jha. So, IAPWC works towards conducting public awareness, camps, CME, workshops. It aims at bringing together all physiotherapy professionals for sharing knowledge and improving public awareness about physiotherapy. We have 5 zones in India with heads for each. Dr. Pooja Kamble is the best zone head. The state team of IAPWC Maharashtra includes State Coordinator Dr. Suvarna Ganveer, Joint Coordinator Dr. Snehal Patel, and Sub-Coordinators Dr. Uttara Mohan, Dr. Priya Karande, and Dr. Nirali Sangvi. In Maharashtra, IAPWC has conducted 40 plus low-cost activities in various districts. In first corporate IAP conference held in Indore in April 2019, Maharashtra State received award for Best State IAPWC. Now I would like to introduce our first speaker, Poonam Surange ma'am. She is gold medalist and postgraduate in psychology from Indore, MS in psychotherapy from USA, postgraduate diploma in guidance and counseling, NCERT, New Delhi, experience about 19 years as a consulting psychologist at Vartak Engineering and Polytechnic College, Vasai, associated with various schools and organizations, honorary consultant to Jilla Parishad School, Vasai Taluka. I would like to request Poonam Surange ma'am to please take over. Poonam Surange ma'am, please take over, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ila. Good evening, one and all. I think I'm audible, all of you.
Yes, ma'am. You can share your document. Yeah, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes,
You
ma'am,
all
you
can
are
hear me?
audible. Yes, ma'am, please
Thank
share
you.
your screen.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. I think it's an extraordinary situation. Since early days, I always heard the word mind and body together. And I think this is wonderful situation when the psychologist and physiotherapist, this is an amazing situation. So I think it's a great opportunity for me to share and feel this combination right here with all of you. And let me start with this life skills and stress management. I think it's quite, I think these terms are quite known to everyone. Life skills and stress management. I think everywhere in social networking, everywhere we are finding these words being used quite regularly nowadays. But in what I perceive, like as far as life skills are concerned, there are inner side of human being. So most of the time we talk about training the people, we talk about lots of other things, but we never explore ourselves as far as life skills are concerned. So once I say it is life skills, that means we are talking about our inner self. So my whole presentation is all about discovering ourselves. Unless until we discover ourselves, it will be not easy for us to manage life positively, happily. So I hope this is of your use and you will all be benefited with all this. And we'll start with the first one. Uh, just, yeah, as you can see, it's just an introduction to life skills. In other, I said it can be termed as psychosocial competency. Now it is psychosocial competency. Let me little bit elaboration of this word. When I say psychosocial, that means when I project something inside, something what is inside me, outside, and I have certain perception in my mind, like life is like this. I want to see my life like this. That means my mind is being projected outside. Means it's up to us how we perceive life. So most important thing about life skill is that when we try to understand that what are our given abilities, what are the like positive behaviors which we can conduct to have better adjustment as far as our social needs are concerned. So when we try to match our psycho, means our mind, to the social needs, the social requirements in a very positive manner, that means we are developing certain competencies to have a better life and explore best of ourselves. So here, life skills simply means that we are exploring ourselves. I repeat on this again and again, right? It's about, so I will not get
Poonam
into the
ma'am,
definition. Yeah,
Poonam ma'am, sorry to interrupt you. Can you put the slide on full screen mode?
doing it. Uh, okay, I will not stop. I'm just doing that work. And what we can do by that time, that I think few of them were not able to hear it clearly. They just said it. Now you can hear, you can see full screen.
Yes, yes, we can see.
Okay, yeah. So initially I was talking about how we perceive the world and how we enable ourselves to have a better adjustment by adaptive abilities of ourselves and positive behavior, which effectively handles the life challenges. It's all about that. So once I say psychosocial competency, that means a simple mapping of
Hello,
mind and social life. So it's,
I am
can you
not
hear me?
able to hear at all.
Nilima ma'am, we are able to hear. Ma'am, can you check your network once?
Uh, my network is quite fine. I think it's full rather.
Poonam ma'am, you can continue. No problem. You can
Okay.
continue. Now we are able to
Yeah.
hear.
Okay, fine. Like life skills can be core skills, life skills, and social life skills. Um, Let me elaborate it a bit. Like when I say core life skills, and the second section will be talking about the social life skills. When I say core life skills, that means what is inside you. As I said, we will be focusing on the self part because whenever we talk about life skills, we have to explore ourselves. If you are not aware, the Maslow has given a need theory. When he's talked about completely about self-exploring. So the most important element is self-acceptance. When I say core life skills, that means self-acceptance. Means we say that there is a problem, or maybe I say that I'm having a sleep issue. I'm not able to handle it. So most important is that we need to realize that the acceptance of this phenomena that I am having a sleeplessness. Once we accept this phenomena, most of the time what happens, we keep on searching the reasons outside. Maybe I'm having more time in the office, or I'm getting disturbed, or other reasons. But we are not able to explore one thing, that why we are not accepting this, that we are having this problem. Once we accept the problem, this is the first step of life skill. When we want to develop that life skill within us, it's important to accept the problem and the relative self. Once we accept that relative self, it is easy for us to understand what is expected of life from us. So it is very important that the area where we are working, like maybe you're working as physiotherapist, or I'm working as a psychologist. In a current situation, the only problem is that we are not able to understand what's going on in the world. So first, to understand the whole world, to understand whole phenomena, it's very important to understand that what I am all about. So once we accept self, it becomes easy for all of us to explore the other possibilities of life. So the course life skill is be honest to yourself, accept yourself as it is. Don't try to manipulate with yourself. Once you accept yourself, I think most of them will be resolved by themselves. Then the second step is self-awareness. Now, how the acceptance and awareness are different. Like I am just talking to you all. You might be doing something else in life whole day. You might be doing some creative work. You might be thinking something else. But actually, whether we are aware of ourselves, it's very key issue. Because childhood, we are being told by most of the time, like the other people, like, okay, you are very stubborn person. When sometimes somebody comes and tells you, तुम तो बिल्कुल अच्छे नहीं हो पढ़ाई में. Somebody comes and somebody says something else to us. And most of the time, whatever we know about ourselves is mostly in self-image, mostly given by other people. So it is very important that how much we know ourselves means it is not a perceived self. It has to be a real self when it comes to self-awareness. Self-awareness means when we say that I'm having an idea about life. For that, we need to understand. किसी ने आपसे कुछ कहा, that is not you. How much you know about yourself, that is your self-awareness. So once we develop that phenomena, that skill within us, it becomes very easy for us to coordinate with life situations, and we try to develop our best in those conditions there. After that, it is empathy and compassion. I'm so sorry, but I will say one thing about all of us today, that right now we are in a pandemic situation. That's why we are finding there is a problem. People are dying. People are not having solutions to their problem, and blah, blah. But the basic phenomena that every time when we are thinking about the world and life, we need to understand that even without pandemic, there were situations we need to be more empathetic and compassionate about everyone around us. We are aware that people are suffering with cancer, people are suffering with poverty, people are suffering with thousands of other issues. So it's not about that this is a very sudden situation. All of a sudden, we are realizing it because it's somehow getting connected with us directly. But we have to develop that empathetic approach and compassionate approach as a person, as an individual, because it's not about pandemic actually. It's about for lifetime. Once world and we are more compassionate to everyone around us, every living being around us, it is very easy for us to be more confident, to be more connected with the world, and it's very easy to perform in the world as well. So it's all about matching process. It's a process. You are discovering yourself, you're exploring yourself, and you're matching yourself with the needs of people and yourself. So when the matching process is going on, then the resilience and good coping skills. I think one of the most important elements, resilience, I say. It is kind of, you can say, emotional muscle expansion, like flexibility has to be there in a person. Flexibility is what? Means I'm ready to adapt. I'm ready to adapt. So once I say that in my childhood, my teachers used to tell me that if a person should remain a student all their life, that means that adaptability has to be always there. And now people will say that adaptability, how to adapt? It's not very easy. It's easy to say, but it is very difficult to adapt. But the fact remains, adaptability needs a simple equation of understanding a simple thing that once a thing is presented to you, you, instead of manipulating the situation, try to understand how I can mold myself to adapt the best. Most of the time, we all are busy in changing the situation and changing the people around us. We never try to adapt certain things. We never try to correct ourselves. It's a very beautiful story by Ramakrishna Paramhans. Once a person was walking and he asked me, he asked Ramakrishna Paramhans where I should go, because whenever I go anywhere, I fell. So he said that you are blindfolded and still you are thinking that why I'm falling from, whether I'm walking this side or that side. I'm falling just because my eyes are blindfolded. So the idea behind this resilience is that we are missing the adaptability to understand that unless until we correct ourselves, we improve ourselves, it will be very difficult for us to have better adjustment, better adaptability for this world. Now, the personal thing, happiness question, and thanking you all because I think I gave questionnaire, a Google form before this webinar, and it was a tremendous response, and I discovered a lot of things about all of you. Thank you so much, all of you. And happiness quotient, what is that? A natural question will come. It is about happiness. Now, why I say, I think when I believe in my existence in totality, totality means I'm not depending on any situation, any condition, any motivation. It is all intrinsic. When I say that, then I'm talking about happiness. Because once it is constantly being like influenced by so many things outside you, you are not able to maintain that your happiness. So it's very important for all of us to remain very happy, very positive in life, and we should work on this happiness quotient, and we should try to, as much as possible, to be relaxed and like being unaffected by the situation around us. I know it's difficult, but it is not impossible. It's about being very connected to yourself. Like when you feel yourself complete, you don't know that somebody else is needed, some other thing is needed to complete you, some recognition, some kind of fame, some kind of other things. It becomes very easy for a person to remain happy within self. Now I'll talk about social life skills. Social life skills is communication and interpersonal skills. We all know about it. Most of the people will talk about communication and interpersonal skills. But I feel that it's not about only communication. I think it's connecting with people. I talk very nicely. I understood. I tried to connect with you. You are talking to me, but actually, whether I know you or not, like it's not about knowing the traits of a person, whether a person is extrovert, whether it's a person is introvert, whether it is a lower social economic class or what exactly. These are the physical details of a person. When we talk about social life skills, that means we are actually trying to understand people around us. And it's not about being judgmental about them, it's about simply understanding them, listening to them. And once we develop those life skills, it becomes very easy for us to relate ourselves with them, and we can help ourselves and them at the same time. So when I say life skills and I say communication, communication is connecting. When we say I connect with you, that means I accept you as it is. We are not manipulating, we are not trying to change anyone. We are simply trying to understand, listen, and we are trying to help the person as much as possible. So that kind of thought processing. Like I have seen people come with a format in their mind that this kind of person will do this kind of person is saying that it must be like this kind of phenomena is always there in mindset. So it's very important for all of us to realize that communication doesn't mean that we are just talking to someone. It's about connecting with the person. Now comes self-control. The second one, the self-control. I think the kind of problem we all are facing right now is where to start, where to stop. We always get into this kind of confusion that, okay, I have started this, but I don't know whether people are liking me or not, whether this is happening or correctly or not. So we are not able to pitch ourselves in a way where we don't know where we have what we are expecting from people. So we are not able to understand what is the line of control for us. So that is a very important life skill. When to start, when to stop. So whenever you are dealing with yourself, it's very important that you are very much sure about yourself, where you want to deliver, where you want to stop, where you want to being noticed, or where you want to tell people that this is what is my perception on my opinion. So the self-control device is very important phenomena. So I think another aspect is social life skill is self-control. Now it comes to another is like organization skills. Organization skills is like right now you all are facing a typical kind of problem because physiotherapists are naturally having like some to say person to person contact kind of phenomena. The problem is that you're not able to understand how to deal in the current situation with the whole organization, with the whole phenomena of this COVID-19 and manage this whole thing. So I personally feel that organizing skill, they are very important skills because we exactly know what is the priority right now. And once we understand the priority, then we are able to understand the step-by-step situation, how we can handle it. Once we are clear about the current situation, that's very easy for us to organize ourselves. So once we develop that organizing capacity, we are able to deliver according to the situation. So organization skills become very relevant and important in such situations. Then the learning skills and personal skills. I think they are quite similar to each other. Learning skills means we were not aware of that 3 months back. 3 months back, there was no such idea that this kind of situations will come, and we will be talking about this kind of webinars, and we will be thinking about all these things. But all of a sudden, there is a situation. So whenever a life is presenting you something very important, very different, most unexpected, it becomes very important for us to understand that which kind of skills are required now to understand life in a better way. So if you are a good student and you know that life is ever changing phenomena, so you will keep yourself you will be updating yourself, you will be learning new things, and you will be managing yourself in a better way. And once you are ready to do that, it will be very easy for you to deliver good in life. Now, although it is in a Kerala flood, but the right word I've used here is the invisible flood of COVID-19. Now I feel this is a very important thing, what I felt. Uh, when there is a flood, we are able to see that. This time it's an invisible flood, and it's very difficult to understand that what is my priority. We all are afraid of what will happen in my future. I'm very insecure about life. I don't know where I'm going to manage this finance, where I'm going to manage my family. Lots of things are happening, so much gloominess around, so much negativity around. But we are getting very confused about everything. So here, the most important thing is to understand. So suppose if there is a flood around you, water around you, as we are seeing a flood kind of thing. That time we don't go out of the house. We never try even. Oh, this is my loss. This is my loss. But if think you are in a care line, this kind of situation, and you are on the top of that house, you would have simply thought some boat should have come and would have taken me along with my dear ones. And the only thing you wanted was to have the safety of your loved ones and you as well. So here we need to understand, in this pandemic, in this current situation, we all have to realize that the survival of all of us is the priority. Everything comes after that. So once we understand the setting of priorities, it becomes very easy for us to uh, manage things. We are able to calm ourselves. We are able to understand, okay, fine, fine, okay. Like everything keeps changing, and later everything will change slowly and gradually. So I think the setting priorities, that's right now survival is the most important thing, what we are looking for. And after that, everything will come after. We will be able to manage our life, and money, fame, all other things can come later. I know lots of things are going on. Everybody must be feeling lots of pressure of the social expectation, the financial expectation. But still, I personally feel that everything can be managed if you are surviving. So please take care of yourself. So the management skills after that, it's easy to manage yourself. What you can do from home the best, what you can do the best, what you can do the best after going out, what are the priorities, what I can do the best. List out those things. It becomes easy for you, and you understand that once I'm surviving, these things I can manage very well. Now, as we are gradually the unlock is happening, we must be realizing what exactly we can do with our clinics, what else we can do with the hospitals, what else can be done in such a circumstances. For, the human being is the best software being created by Almighty. So I think the software is very much capable of adapting every new thing. So and the management skill come like automatically follows the priorities. Then spiritual quotient. Spiritual quotient is what? Spiritual quotient is once we understand that we are existing in whole world, the tiny small human being is existing. That means we are very powerful and we are here to stay. That simply means, and once we believe in our existence, we start exploring everything around us. And once that belief is inculcated in us very strongly, we understand the art of balancing the mind and body as well as the fourth one follows. Learning the art of balancing mind and body. Once we set the priorities, management comes, then we have to believe in the basic existence. Once that is done, it's quite easy for us to balance everything within us and outside. Managing stress. So I think this is my thing. Like to managing stress, you can see the pic, lots of things around us, mobiles and watch. Like I'm also having the time schedule within my me that I have to complete certain things within a time frame. So the clock is very much there in the picture as well. So we have a time. We always perceive a time constantly without without even seeing that yo time, अरे मुझे यहाँ तक पहुँचना है. So the time pressure is always there. But I personally feel time बहुत सारा है life में. We are unnecessarily creating lots of things in our mind by creating it. Stress is a feeling of emotional or physical tension. It can come from an event and thought. So the thought itself, the time is very less, can create a big trouble in your mind. So believe very strongly that Almighty has given us ample of time. It's very important for us. Just a second. I think the most important thing is that this by constantly imagining that there is a problem in the world, and that's why we are having this kind of problems. We have to understand simply one thing, that this all is created by us. So once we, just a second, there is some technical issue. Just a second, hold on. Back issue there. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. So coping up with the stress at mind level. As I said, self-exploring is most important. I try to wind up as I can feel Ella is actually observing me. Uh, Coping up with the stress at mind level, understanding the true self of yourself, accepting the inner and outer truths of life, intrinsic motivation, yoga and meditation, learning to remain calm. Let me wind up and like understand this for you. Understand the true reason of yourself. Why we are in stress? Nobody can tell us. It is only you who can explore this, why you are in stress. Most of the time we feel that people outside us give us stress. आपने देखा होगा जब भी लड़ाई होती है, people say कि if you would have said something to us, then because of that I reacted. Since childhood we behave like this. मुझे उसने मारा था इसलिए मैंने उसे मारा. This is a general statement being given by this even children too. And we continue that in our adult life too. We always feel that our surroundings are responsible for all this phenomena. So the most important thing is that stress is generated by all of us, not by our surroundings. So once we understand why we are getting disturbed, why this phenomena, it's like if somebody comes and slaps you, it is up to you whether slapping back. You will think about the slapping for next 20 years, or you will keep on thinking that, oh, wow, how I should punish this person. This is all stress. Once you start believing that the people who are doing something around us, whatever is around us, is never in our control. The only thing which is in our control is our mind. So the coping of stress at the mind level is by understanding yourself. Once you understand that this is me and whatever is happening around us is others, and they are not in my control. If I say tomorrow it's solar eclipse, stop it. You cannot do that. Naturally, you cannot. All of a sudden, there is a rain. I ask you to stop that. Is it possible? It's similar to that. What people think about you, what is happening around you as far as social or any other level, it's definitely up to the surroundings. It's never your problem. So once we understand the discrimination between the inner and outer things of ourselves, that the reaction part belongs to us. The action part is never in our control. So it's very important to accept the inner truths of our life. Now the intrinsic motivation, as we all know, we always keep on telling our children also that you should do studies, you should do that, you should do this, you should not think about prize, you should keep participating in the competition. We generally as parents try to motivate our children this way, that the prize is not important, the participation is most important. I think we all need to really motivate ourselves in this manner also. Right now, in this pandemic, the participation is the most important phenomena, not the result part. So think and explore how you can participate in the best manner in this current situation and give your best. Rest, leave it to Almighty, or leave it to whatever comes in life. So once you do that, I think it will be very easy for you to cope up with the scenario. Yoga and meditation, Dr. Patel is going to handle that very well for you. So I'm not going to elaborate for you. those things with definitely yoga and meditation. It's about yoga. Yoga means you are adding. Uh, yoga means for me, judna, adding something. So once you connect your inner self, your body and your inner self, that is yoga for me. So I think once you connected yourself, I think you will learn to remain calm in life. So before I leave you with Dr. Ila, I will definitely quote, for me, the best book of psychology is Bhagavad Gita. And as Lord Krishna says, Karmande Vadhika Raste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana, Ma Karma Phalahetu Dhurma Na Sasango Tasvati Karmani. अर्थात हम कर्म करते रहे, फल की चिंता ना करें. तो बिल्कुल this is the ideal thing right now to do. If you believe in your karma, definitely Almighty is going to take care of all the karma phal. So keep working positively, stress free, and keep doing yoga and believe in yourself completely. Thank you so much. Over to you, Ila. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Poonam ma'am, for such a wonderful presentation. Now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Nilima Patel, ma'am. Dr. Nilima Patel, she is a PhD in Rehabilitation and Alternative Medicine, Fellow of
Uh,
Indian Association of
Dr. Ila,
Physiotherapists.
you're not
Yes,
audible.
ma'am.
Uh,
I'm not audible, ma'am.
your voice is low.
Am I audible?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Okay. Now I would like to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Nilima Patel, ma'am. Dr. Nilima Patel, she is PhD in Rehabilitation and Alternative Medicine, Fellow of Indian Association of Physiotherapists, ex-principal and HOD of Government College of Physiotherapy, Faculty of Medicine, Baroda, author of Yoga and Rehabilitation, special appreciation letter received by Honorary Narendra Modi ji, then CM of Gujarat 2008. She won various awards like Rashtriya Gaurav Award, Physio Ratna Award twice, Experience Excellence Award, Pride of Gujarat Award, Significant Contribution Award 6 times in the field of physiotherapy, Lifetime Achievement Award, Adarsh Vyaktitva Puraskar Award, and many more. Currently, she is working as Honorary Director of Physiotherapy, Parul University, conducted more than 150 workshops on physio yoga and rehabilitation all over India on invitation. Before we start with the speaker, this video is worth watching. Please have a look. Uttara ma'am, can you please start with the video, please?
Yes.
Hello friends, yoga is a science of feeling and experiencing. Yoga is a practical way of living a life with righteousness. Yoga is not a gymnastic or acrobatic skill. Yoga postures symbolizes hatha practices. Yoga postures are psychophysical postures. Yoga postures have evolved by yogishes from nature, the grace and poise we see in animals, birds, environment, mechanical gadgets useful to mankind. Each yoga posture has two dimensions. First, the technical. It is the body movements that we perform. When we go into the state of asana and when we release from the state of asana is the technical aspect of any yoga posture. And the second dimension is the experiential aspect, a very meaningful aspect of each and every yoga posture. The name that has been given to that yoga posture represents this. As for example, Parvatasana. Parvatasana is said to be the mountain pose. Now there is not only one size and shape of a mountain. There are so many types of mountains that we feel across the globe. So that when we place the arms and the legs in a specific position, when many times it is rigidly focused on, I think so we are diverting our attention from the true meaning of Parvatasana. Now the experiential aspect of Parvatasana, Parvat mountain, a great message the mountain has to give. Mountain as a broad base of support signifies let us be rooted to the ground, let us be broad-minded. And if we are broad-minded, slow and steady means the race, and that is what an inclined slope of a mountain signifies. Mountain does not retain anything. Mountain gives protection, mountain gives shelter, and if we nurture these experiences and feelings within us, it truly represents the yoga posture that is Bharvatasana. This is what we need to inculcate every time. It is this experiential aspect of your posture nurtures and nourishes the breath. And as the breath gets nourished, these postures becomes energy conservation posture. However, it is important. The primary aim of any yogasana practice is to relax every bit of muscle and provide them a deep repose. If we don't do this, we will never attain the voice if we are using excessive muscular tension to try to achieve it. So I'm surprised when people call it as I'm practicing extensive yoga. Yoga is not a gymnastic or acrobatic skill. Therefore, your posture is the psychosomatic lubricating tool for health and wellness. I'm going to make an effort to explain in my next videos, giving a meaning to each and every yoga posture that is designed and signified for useful to mankind.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Such a wonderful video. I would request Dr. Nilima, ma'am, to take over, please.
Yes. Very good evening to one and all. And my special thanks to IAP Women's Cell, Maharashtra branch, and specifically the Palghar branch. And all of you are doing wonderful job. Technical issues do come up. And if the session is on all these areas, I think so we should all keep cool, maintain our balance, and go ahead. That is what I have been learning through yoga science since all these years. I still consider myself as a student only. I'm learning each day because learning is a continuous process. That is what I have always understood. Before this International Yoga Day, that is tomorrow, arranging this talk of mine to Physio Fraternity is a very welcoming gesture, because I do recollect that when I came up with the concept of physio almost 14-15 years back, there was so much of resistance from our own fraternity. But I got inspired for this concept from late Mokashi sir. And I do remember him always, because in 96, 92 Delhi conference, I had put something on yoga science, and I had seen that he also had placed a whole scientific session on yoga. And it was very encouraging that time for me to go ahead with this. So thank you so much for this wonderful invite. Another thing, please don't pronounce it as yoga. It is yoga. That is what I have always humbly pleaded to everyone, because it's a science in itself. It does not require any proof or any authenticity. And as today we are in the era of this pandemic, 2020, right, COVID-19, and of course extending to 2020, we all physios are going to so many types of issues. And Again, since 2-3 days, something again has come up, and definitely each and every physio is under stress. But I don't think so it is stress. It is a stress coping strategy that we all have, that we need to always face. So I'll share my views on meditative postures and relaxation postures. Again, this video did explain that yoga is a science of feeling and experiencing. It is a science in itself. It is an adjunct therapy and it is not an alternative therapy. And when I'm talking about yoga postures, I did mention each yoga posture is a psychosomatic lubricating tool and wonderfully designed tool it is. So I'll share my screen. By the time we are able to get it. Yes, again, I'm proud to be a physiotherapist. I'm privileged to be a clinical psychologist, but I'm blessed to be a yoga student. And the whole credit that I give today is to my respected Guruji, who made me blend both these two sciences. And that's how the concept of physio in rehabilitation came into existence. Now, what is stress? That has been explained very well by the previous speaker and wonderfully understood also. Types of stresses also we are aware of. Snehal, what happened to the screen?
Yeah, ma'am, can you see my screen?
I can see, but the share is not there.
No, no.
PPT
Now
is not
from my
there.
side. PPT is from my side. Can you see first
No,
slide?
no.
Other
Ma'am, we
people
can see
are
only
Full
first.
screen mode, Dr. Snehal.
what?
You'll have to
Other
Snail, ma'am, see the only main screen.
other are able to see?
Yes, ma'am, we can see only the first main screen.
This?
no,
No,
both
no, it's
screen.
not
You'll have to
playing.
Dr.
Okay, you'll
Snehal,
have
can you
to
turn off
open
the
the
screen share and turn on again and select the PowerPoint app for screen sharing?
okay till she adjusts. Should I continue? Right? We have been explained about the types of stresses and all the areas. Stresses can be positive, stresses can be negative. Yes, very good. Next slide, you
Can
can
you
go
able to
ahead.
see?
Yes,
Okay,
now
okay, now just okay, fine.
the next slide.
Wait. I'm putting in a slideshow.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Ma'am, are you able to see?
I'm able to see, but you'll have
Yeah.
to, please, next screen now. Next slide, sorry.
This?
You have to move on, no? I'm not able to. I think so it's the same with everyone. You'll have to go for slideshow.
I'm on slideshow, ma'am.
But
The PPT is on.
the next you will have to go ahead, no?
Yes. You tell me. So which?
Next now, please go ahead with the next one.
Okay.
Next slide. The screen has stuck to the first slide only. Snehal.
Okay. From my side, it's only six number slide. I'm on.
No,
Dr.
no,
Snehal, slideshow mode is not yet active here. It's not visible.
From my side, it's everything is visible. On 6 number slide, I was in.
we all are able to see the first slide only, Snehal. Hello, Snehal. If the screen share is not working, I can complete without the screen, okay?
And give me a moment. If she couldn't play, I will try again. Participants are please requested to keep themselves mute, please.
Hello, Ila. Yesterday it was all very clear.
Ma'am, it happened. It's a technical problem. We'll manage, ma'am. Don't worry.
Huh? Yeah.
Give us a minute, we will do it.
No
I'm
issue. No issue.
again checking. Okay. We're closing the app and I'm again checking. The PPT is not opening, I guess.
Hila,
Yes, ma'am.
in case if madam wants to continue without the screen, let her continue.
Yes, I have no problem. Huh? Okay, if you
Yes,
want me, I can
Yes,
continue.
ma'am.
if you
Yes, ma'am.
will. Yes, madam, you can continue, please.
Yes. See, the stressors can be positive, and these positive stressors can help us to compel us to take actions with new perspectives. But there can be negative stresses also, and today all of us are into that situation. But if we just try to take it in a way that everything has a beginning, that has an end, and the end is going to be fine, and we'll accept it. This is what Ashtanga Yoga specifies. I think so things can go well, because most stresses occur as a consequences of psychological and spiritual malfunctioning. So what we need to strengthen over here is our spirituality, our self-esteem, and our willpower and faith in our own self and others. Because stress is a fact of life, in every day, in workplace, in relationship, and ultimately, if we live with stress, that is what we physios are going through today, is maybe because of the family situations, the workload, the high caseload, periods of increased activity, staff shortages, their urban lifestyle, expectations from each other, from our colleagues, from seniors, from students, and other areas also. Time management can be sometimes a problem. And that's how so many things can make us go little hayward. So what are the strategies that we can go to take care of these stresses that we physios are going through today? I think so. The previous speaker has explained quite well, and she did mention about yoga and meditation. But again, if I am talking of yoga and meditation, I should definitely focus first on the breath, because breath awareness leads to relaxation. And once you connect to the breath, naturally the relaxation response happens, and things can become easily day after day with all of us. So this is the whole yoga science all about. Yoga is a branch of knowledge or study dealing with body of facts, truths systematically arranged and showing the operation of general laws. Yoga is a considered as pure science. It is very systematic science, and it is said that art of yoga inspires us, whereas the science of yoga illuminates us. We all have referred our book, Exercise Therapy, Dina Gardner. And right from I was in first year, way back in 1978, I was very inspired by this statement, which has been mentioned in Dina Gardner, that the tension of the muscles can be affected by conscious thought and effort, and can be relieved by the application of conscious thoughts or muscular effort on the part of a person. This is the whole concept of yoga science. And if we nurture this aspect, I think so things go well. So as the topic was given to me as stress management, the yogic way, and meditation and relaxation postures, right? I consider it in a very different way. Yoga for stress management, definitely counselors and psychologists, they talk of ego strengthening. We are aware about hypnosis and all that, but yoga and meditation focuses on ego purification. And once the ego is purified, definitely what we go is for stress elimination. Why to manage stress? Why wait for next time the stress to come? So it is very important that we eliminate stress from its grassroots level itself. Yes, Snehal, can you go ahead? Because I can see the second slide now. It's okay, fine. Now posture, because we are going to talk about yoga posture, I just would like to share that the posture committee of the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgery has given a very good definition that each posture has to be an energy conservation position. And good posture means an energy conservational, economical, cosmetically acceptable, and requires balance between ligamentous and muscular tone, regulated by postural reflex. So each and every yoga posture is defining what the American Orthopedic Academy of Orthopedic Surgery has explained about posture. And that's what I really feel so blessed to be a yoga student. So what does yoga practices focus on? Stress? No. Yoga practices focuses on relaxation. Yes, please go ahead. I think so. One by one, the slides are going. You can go to the next slide. Next. Very good. Yes, please go ahead. Snehal, please go ahead. I'll tell you where to stop. Next slide, Snehal. Yes. I did talk about all this. Yes, very good. Please go ahead. I have come to the point what yoga is not. I did cover up this mind body. I did talk about stress management, difference between stress management and stress elimination. Next slide, please. Yes, Snehal, please go ahead. Yes. Previous slide. What yoga is not. Yes. Now next slide. Yes. Right. Now I'll go ahead with the commands. Okay. So what yoga is not? It is not a form of or type of exercise. It is not a gymnastic or acrobatic skill. I did mention in my video. It is not a penance. It is not an alternative therapy. It is not to be experimented and proved. Next slide, please. So what is yoga? Next slide. Yeah. Yoga is a special type of exercise through mind regulation. It is a means and measure to achieve positive health. It is to be experienced and felt. And it is an adjunct therapy because, to me, next slide, please. Next slide. Yoga is connectivity. Yoga is to be happy at each and every moment. And if we are in a state of happiness and state of acceptance, I think so, any situation can be diluted with our inner self. Next slide, please. Yoga in healthcare. Yoga acts as a metaphor. It unveils the curtain of ignorance and facilitates muscles and mental and muscular relaxations at all levels because it eliminates compassion fatigue and illuminates spiritual dimension in our healthcare approaches. Next slide, please. Because to me, as a physiotherapist, yoga is not to stand on one's feet, but it is to stand firmly on one's feet and face life stresses with all its pressures and tensions, and which can help us to relax mentally and physically. And this can only be possible if we are disciplined, because we have physiotherapists always talk about potential energy to kinetic form. And as we are movement scientists, we are movement therapists, it is very important for us to understand the concept of movement. Next slide, please. But are we really aware about the word meaning exercise? Exercise literally means to unlock. And what we need to unlock to definitely relax and be patient, be calm, be serene, be poised, and accept the stresses that comes in our life, we need to unlock the physical dimension. So we use the word physical exercises. Then we many times can do some mental exercise. So unlocking the mind through breath awareness, mental exercise, communication, spiritual exercise. Definitely, when we go for group therapy in our physiotherapy program, when we live in a family situation, when we educate people, it becomes more of a social exercise. And above all, what is important is the spiritual exercise. Next slide, please. So, spiritual unlocking is what yoga science talks about, because when we are in a stressful situation, our self-esteem goes low. We feel depressed. We feel fatigued mentally and physically. We feel lost. We feel scared. We feel panic. So it is this spiritual upliftment that is what yoga science has always emphasized about. Next slide, please. Next. Yes. So what is yoga? Yoga is definitely a way of life. And I'm going to talk about the third limb of Ashtanga Yoga, that is Yogasana. They're all psychophysical postures. And if you see on this, in this picture, asana is just the 10%. Rest all 90% is our inner self. And if this inner self is nurtured, definitely the physical posture is going to be naturally taken care of. Next slide, please. So what is yoga posture? They are psychophysical postures. I did explain in that video. And there are two dimensions. The dynamic, when we go into the state of asana and when we come out of the state of asana. And when we are into a state of asana, that is a static component. And that is ideally what is the psychophysical benefit of any yoga posture. But nowadays, people are practicing as gymnastics and acrobatics and all types of body movements and forgetting about the real meaning behind each asana. See, every yoga posture is prefixed with a name. Why it is so, that needs to be understood. And this experiential aspect of yogasana improves our stress coping mechanisms. Next slide, please. So, next slide. So yoga posture people is taken up as a myth today. आसन is a state of being and not doing. मैं आसन में होती हूँ, मैं आसन करती नहीं हूँ, लेकिन हम बोलते हैं कि हम आसन कर रहे हैं. But that is fine. So let us not go into the tech. If I'm talking about the meditative postures and relaxation postures, I need to focus more on the experiential aspect of these asanas, because relaxation is concept of mind. Rest is the concept of body. So next slide, please. Next slide. So there are different types of classification: meditative asanas, relaxation asanas, and cultural asana. And each and every asana, any yoga posture that you take up has this 6 important benefits: the physical benefits on all systems of the body, mental benefits in form of relaxation, emotional benefit definitely helps to relax and poise the mind and the body through breath awareness. Intellectual benefit is concentration, decision making, memory, and all cognitive abilities improve. And social, it improves our interpersonal relationships. And spiritual, when I talk about benefit, is energy conservation, because each and every asana has the concept of energy conservation. Next, please. I think so. Before this, the previous one, why yoga postures? This is very, very important. Why we are, as a physio, we should be aware about, with the sound knowledge of biomechanics, principles of exercise therapy, and all the clinical conditions that we deal with, right from musculoskeletal to women's health to neuromuscular to cardiac. I think a physio can be the best yoga instructor also, because she is or he's aware with all these dimensions. So why yoga posture? Because they are close kinematic postures which focuses on stability. And if we have an erect posture, definitely we have proper activation of abdominals, we have good diaphragmatic pattern of movement, of inhalation, exhalation, both gets facilitated. And ultimately with good breath awareness, with good stability, with good ventilatory function, and definitely with the experiential aspect of every asana, we can have abundance of energy. Next slide, please. So why yoga postures? Because it helps for body alignment, sensory motor feedback, flexibility of mind and body both, and it strengthens all the dimensions, mind, body, and spirit. Next slide, please. This is very, very important. And I always try to explain the umbrella concept. It is said mind and umbrella are useful only when they are open. So we don't have time to go into the detail of all this, but whether we are talking of meditative postures or whether we are talking of relaxation postures, there should be economization of energy between the two diaphragms, the pelvic diaphragm and the respiratory diaphragm, which definitely helps to stabilize the mind as through our vertebral column, and the rib cage expansion is enhanced in all the three dimensions. And furthermore, things can be facilitated. But this can be explained in a very, very detailed manner when time permits. Next slide, please. Every yoga posture focuses on breath awareness because yoga is a science of breath and movement. So breath awareness helps the body to detox. It is a key to relaxation and healing. Next, please. Because what is the yogic principle? Breath is the connecting link between the mind and the body. Regulate the breath and the mind and body will follow. The science of breath begins with awareness and ends also with awareness. So whenever we make, next slide please, any person go for breath awareness, I never say inhale, exhale, because it is yogic guideline. So always I specify breathe in faith, breathe out fear, breathe in relaxation, breathe out tension. Okay, breathe in present, breathe out past, breathe in faith, breathe out doubt. So when you start connecting to the experiential aspect of all these auto suggestions, definitely the rate, rhythm, and depth naturally gets regulated. Next slide, please. Now, Ashtang Yoga has explained yoga posture as Sthir Sukham Asanam, means posture is a state of stability and comfort. Furthermore, Sage Patanjali added Prayatna Shaithilyam, means it should be an effortless position. When can this be effortless and stable? Prasanna Chit, when the mind is relaxed and happy. And when can the above three be achieved? Ananta Samaptipya, means when the spirit is focused on infinity. So Ashtanga Yoga has not given any name to any asana. Sage Patanjali has just said, be in a stable state of poise, calmness, serenity, and that itself takes care of all the systems of the body. So if the spirit is uplifted, if the mind is relaxed, the body will be full of energy. We don't need to practice any of the yoga postures, but as we were living in a society, things changed. And then came, next slide, please, Hatha Yoga. So Sage Svatmaramji definitely explained yoga postures. So all these yoga postures that are being practiced today, if it is the cat pose or a camel pose or a cow pose or a cobra pose or a mountain pose, right? Or inverted or low dog crawl pose. All these postures have evolved from the nature, from the surrounding. And the yoga rishis, when they were meditating, they were trying to see the things that were in the surrounding. They were trying to take the positive messages from all these animals, creatures, environmental areas, the mechanical gadgets, and then they came up with the concept of the name of different postures. So if we really want to practice any yoga postures according to Hatha Yoga, we need to definitely go into the experiential aspect of each pose. Next, please. Next slide. So relaxation yoga or relaxation yoga postures are definitely three. The Balkasana. So just lying down in the position that has the first picture is just does not become a balak position. You have to be like a child. You have to think like a child. You have to be playful. You have to be innocent. You have to have no revengeful tendencies. You every day starts with a new feeling. That is what a child teaches us. So when we inculcate this feeling within us, it naturally becomes a relaxation posture. The second one, the middle one, is modified Makarasana, the crocodile posture. This has been explained by Baba Ramdev as Makarasana, but in my next slide, I'm showing for a physiotherapist and for all conditions in our day-to-day life, why we should practice Makarasana. It is the same prone position, but our forehead is on the palms. And the third posture, Shavasana, which we call it as progressive relaxation technique, everyone is well aware about. All these relaxation postures, when we are into the physical positioning, unless we become aware of our breathing, I'm not going to talk on breathing, breathe in and breathe out. Just be aware of your breath. Think into the experiential aspect of the asana, on what basis the asana is given a name. Automatically the relaxation response starts. And there are many evidences available. EMG studies have confirmed that when a person is in real state of relaxation asana, there has been found a state of electrical silence. Next slide, please. So these are, as a physiotherapist, in my concept of physio, I have gone for biomechanical analysis for all the 3 yoke postures. So the second one is the Makrasana position, the prone lying position, because it is definitely taking care of relaxing all the anti-gravity muscles. It is auto stretch to all the anterior structures which are likely to shorten because of the postures that we are maintaining today. All the 3 diameters of our rib cage expands significantly because the spine is absolutely in its normal curvature. And when we become focused on our breath, definitely full lung volumes have been noted. Again, there have been studies that why Makrasana is better than Shavasana in today's time as a relaxation posture. Please, the previous slide only, the previous one. Yes. Now the fourth one is the Egyptian posture, the chair yoke posture. All of us are into workplace, whether we are at home, workplace, or anywhere. We can maintain a normal erect sitting posture, focus on our breath, and at least every 1 hour or every 2 hours, even if we practice for 5 minutes, just breath awareness program, definitely we are going to relax ourselves. It's very easy to say, it's very difficult to follow, but if we really want to prevent all types of psychosomatic disorders, we need to take care of these postures, because Balkasan helps us to let go, Makrasan helps us for energy conservation, Shavasana purifies the ego, and Egyptian posture is for the urban situation that we all are living into. The next, please. The next slide. But then also there are some yoga postures which have really been helpful in all the conditions. I've been using it, and these 2 postures work well with neuro rehab, women's health, pediatric cases, cardiopulmonary programs. They work wonderfully well, but we have to give guidelines to the person why we are going into this posture. Next, please. Next slide, because time. Yeah. Next. Meditation. The next slide is about meditation. So what is meditation according to Sage Patanjali? According to him, it is concentration of our mind on our vritis without any divergence. It is very, very, people say I do 20 minutes of dhyan, 40 minutes of meditation. Dhyan is not a practice, but it is a continuous dynamic consciousness. So as physiotherapists, are we not talking about this in our day-to-day programs when we are handling our patients? Concentrate into the movement, pay attention to the movement, think into the movement. We are using this command. So when we are talking out to our patients, when we are communicating with our patients, automatically it is dynamic consciousness. When we are going for any therapeutic maneuver, maybe it's electrotherapy or whether it is manual therapy, we are doing it with dynamic consciousness. So dhyan is the area which really needs attention. And I think so, people have been only understanding dhyan as sitting in one place and closing the eyes and focusing on certain areas. So introspection and attention facilitates conscious control on our focus. Next, please. So we require a quiet environment. Next. This is what everyone has believed, that to practice meditation, a comfortable posture and object to dwell is required, and a passive mental attitude also is a must. Next slide, please. I think so. Again, a technical problem. I'll go ahead. There are 3 types of meditation, simple meditation techniques which we can as physiotherapists follow. One is the mantra dhyan, that is meditation, mantra meditation of your faith, your choice, of your belief. Breath watching, breath awareness, simple breath awareness program. And third is Maun Dhyan, that is silencing the mind, definitely calms the mind. The next, there are meditative postures, Sukhasan, Padmasan, and Vajrasan. I think so. Again, the slide is not scrolling, but Padmasan, Padam is lotus. it is not that placing the leg here and leg there becomes Padmasana. Lotus can definitely glow or come out within the filthy environment. कीचड़ से में भी अच्छे से ये कमल का फूल खिलता है. That is what the whole lotus. I will also come out whether there is any type of filthy atmosphere around me. And if I inculcate this value, it becomes a lotus posture. Sukhasana definitely is a state of comfort, which we practice every day. And Vajrasana is a thunderbolt posture. I had explained it with a biomechanical concept, but if the slide is not going ahead, it's fine. Next, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Next. I did talk about it. Please go ahead. Next, please. You go fast. Yes, I did talk about this. Next, I did explain. Now, yes, your physio. Now, everyone says you don't sit cross-leg because it increases knee problems. Sukhasana, Padmasana, they are one of the best positions. The hip is externally rotated. The knee, then the knees, the patellar loading stress is minimal. And when we sit in cross-leg sitting position, it definitely favors normal medial tibial torsion, and that definitely facilitates our good erect balance, ribcage expansion in all three dimensions, and it improves ventilatory and so Sukhasana, Padmasana, Swastikasana, these are the three important meditative postures. They have no side effects, no contraindications. Please try to understand and explain to the orthos who strictly say no to cross-leg sitting. Cross-leg sitting is something different, which has been explained. So when we are into these three postures, our rib cage movement gets enhanced to the fullest, breath awareness is to the fullest, and that is how it automatically relaxes the mind, body, and definitely the spirit definitely gets uplifted. Next, please. Next. So here, when we say why diaphragmatic breathing for relaxation, because breathing is the only autonomic function that can be consciously controlled, and suggests it is the key to bring the sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system into harmony. And that's what the whole pranayama is all about. So it all depends how we have assumed the position. So see, if we are too relaxed, as the center picture is, definitely the breathing can be hampered because the diaphragm definitely is too low. So relaxation will not be proper, and we may have obstructive problems. If we are too tense, the diaphragm gets stationary, and we can go for shallow breathing and can have all types of. But if our mental state is clear and attentive, that is what the diaphragmatic breathing explains about. Our volumes can be improved in all the three areas. Next, please. And that is why yoga practices facilitates diaphragmatic breathing and can have very good effect on our relaxation, because breath is the only function through which we can influence the involuntary nervous system. That is, you can establish rhythms of breathing with your voluntary nerves and muscles that will affect the voluntary nervous system. And hence a regulated, controlled, and correct breathing patterns gain self-control, peace, calmness, and tranquility, and can create profound sense of mental and muscular relaxation. So this is what the whole yoga science is about. Next, please. Next. So relaxation enhances well-being. And so whether we practice mantra dhyan, whether we practice maun dhyan, or whether we practice shvasan dhyan, all the three practices definitely helps in deep relaxation, which automatically becomes a very good energy conservation postures. Mind becomes serene, and all our day-to-day activities gets enhanced. Next slide. And that is what is the benefit of all yoga postures, whether they are meditative or whether they are relaxed, for stress elimination, because these postures increase self-awareness. They help us in better stress management skills. They help us to be a good emotional well-being, improves our attention span. And if the attention span is good, our cognitive abilities improve. We are accepted everywhere, and we are praised, and it is a silent feeling for everyone to be praised. Positive thinking and optimism is always facilitated. We generate kindness and compassion, very, very important for healing of ourselves and others. It improves sleep pattern, eliminates mental and physical pain, and definitely better management of symptoms of all the conditions that we are going through today, like anxiety disorders, depression, sleep disorders, pain issues, and high blood pressure. Next, please. Next. So, yoga is stress preventer and relaxation promoter. Yoga is a self-prescription and self-management approach on the basis of self-assessment and analysis. So I would recommend exercise spirituality because it gives you inner strength, that inner strength to manage difficult situations and keep us ever smiling. A very, very important message for today. Next, please. These are some of the references. So next, thank you so much. Thank you for the technical, but it always happens. But this is what it has taught us to be poised and calm and accept the situation as it is. Over to you, Nila.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, Nilima, ma'am, for the enlightening speech. And I really apologize to all the panelists and the attendees for the technical problem. Now we'll start with our question and answers session. Moderator Dr. Aditi Patak will take over and start with Dr. Poonam, ma'am.
Thank you, Ila ma'am. Hello, I am audible.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello. Good evening, Poonam ma'am.
Yes.
Our first question is how to overcome fear which is causing sleep disturbance.
Uh, First of all, we need to understand what is fear. When I say fear, it can be innate and it can be like provoked. Like once I say innate, suppose you have, if a child is not aware of the same snake can be dangerous, he will not be scared of that. Okay, so this is not something that he is aware of. Once you make a child aware that this is snake and he can bite you or he can harm you, you are suddenly scared of that thing. But it must have seen a child getting suddenly disturbed in the sleep when there is a loud noises around. He suddenly gets like afraid of that noise. So this is an innate kind of fear. So when we talk about sleep, and we say that I am can you repeat that exact question for me so that I can reply that?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. How
Yeah.
to overcome fear which is causing sleep disturbance.
I think sleep disturbance and fear. I think I think we need more elaboration for this.
Okay.
When you say that I'm having sleep disturbance, it's mostly because we are lacking confidence and we are having lots of other issues. It can maybe lifestyle issues as well. We are actually thinking more after 10 o'clock. And the fears when we are thinking too much about something which is not actually happening. It's more about irrational thought processing. Once we get into thought processing after 10 o'clock, when it's time to sleep, to relax our mind, as Madam was correctly saying, that it is about meditating, it's about relaxing yourself. And if you start with more and more thoughts after 10 o'clock in the night, naturally will not be answered by anything inside you because that you're already stressed out. So the base thing is that whenever you're having such kind of irrelevant thoughts, it's very important to get into something more relaxing mode. Try to relax yourself so that you can overcome those fears and have better sleep. Don't try to get into too much social networking or those kind of things after 10 o'clock. Avoid excessive thought processing after 10 o'clock in the night. That's what I would suggest for these kind of fears.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
A second question is that is stress can cause depression or other psychological problem.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as Madam correctly said, that positive and negative, both stress are there. One, you're not able to manage your stress in a positive manner. You know, stress is everywhere. If you want to do something, if you have to complete so many tasks in one day, naturally you will be, you have to manage lot many things in life. So obviously you are into under stress that this is happening with me and I'm not able to handle it. This kind of constant phenomena is coming to us. And for that, it is very important that we try to sort out exactly what is causing us trouble, what is causing us stress. So once we understand that, it is easy to relate whether that is converting into a problem. Like if you are not able to, suppose just you ask us last question that I'm not able to sleep properly. So whether you start managing things, okay, I will sleep in time, I will not able to, I will not be taking my phone after 10 o'clock or anything of that sort, then naturally after that, if it's still not sorted out, that means it is an alarm. Naturally, if you are not able to handle your sleep for 1 week or even 3 days, 4 days, you know you are not in a normal condition. You start in this, you are getting annoyed with every other thing on the planet. So gradually, we understand that this stress is causing me so much trouble that I am not able to handle myself properly. So once that realization comes into play, this is high time you should talk to someone, and you should talk to anyone, maybe your friends first, maybe your family, and then definitely a professional help can be taken once it is crossing 10 days time when you're not able to sleep very properly. So I think definitely any kind of stress can lead to abnormality if it is not handled in the right time, and it is not being managed by us, and is we are not recognizing it in the right time and taking good help from some professional or someone. Definitely, it will convert it to the problem.
Okay, ma'am. The third question was, what could be the best way to control our anxiety when working with patients in this pandemic?
Mm, I think yoga, definitely. I think when we say that in this pandemic, when we are working in ICU, the most important thing is after taking care of everything, like all the PPE kits are on, everything is on. The most important thing is our mental strength. The most important thing is our mental strength. When I say I'm breathing in and breathing out, my stress is out, I'm breathing all the positivity. The most important thing is that whenever we are entering an ICU, we have to calm down. आप थोड़ा सा एक pause लीजिए, just stay out, just take a deep breath, feel that this is a work given by Almighty. I'm good, I'm doing very well in my job, and I'm doing my best to my patients. That satisfaction to a doctor is a big one. It's a big boost. When the feeling of helping someone comes into play, it naturally calms a doctor. That's what my personal feeling is. The moment I feel that I'm helping someone, it naturally calms my mind. So I think people who are working in ICU, the most important thing is they are doing a wonderful job. They should pet themselves. They should encourage themselves and say, oh, we are doing something great in our life. And this is time to recognize our abilities as doctors, as human. And definitely this kind of things, this kind of thoughts can relax us. So take a deep breath, relax yourself, and maybe a counting, maybe good chanting inside you, whatever you believe in. And after that, you can enter the ICU. I think you will do wonders. I think you're already doing the wonders. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Now I'm again giving to Ila ma'am.
Okay.
Ila ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. Thank you, Poonam ma'am. Dr. Nilima ma'am, can we please proceed with the questions, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, the first question is, can you please explain what is relation between Kapalbhati pranayam and high BP?
I would just like to correct over here. Kapalbhati is not a pranayam. Kapalbhati is a shodhan kriya. It's a cleansing process explained by Hatha Yoga. There is no Kapalbhati pranayam. There are 8 types of pranayam explained in Hatha Yoga. The Shitli, Sitkari, Suryabedan, Plavini, Ujjayi, right? Kapalbhati is a cleansing process. Baba Ramdev did initially talk about Kapalbhati pranayam. Pranayam, see, it is Swasayam and Pranayam are 2 different things. Pran is the vital force of energy and Shwas is the breath. So when you go for Kapalbhati strokes, right, it is mainly trying to help you to clean your Vat Prakruti, the stale air that has collected in. So it's a cleansing process. It's a Shodhan Kriya. It's not a pranayam. I'm really very sorry. So I cannot, and Kapalbhati is strictly contraindicated in people with unstable blood pressure or fluctuating blood pressure, because the way you are trying to give the strokes can lead to adrenal imbalances, which yoga science has explained it as Manipur chakra in that area. So I would like to say, I cannot take up this way because first of all, the question is not appropriate for me. The Kapalbhati is not a pranayam. I would like to know who has come up with this question and from where the person has learned that Kapalbhati is a pranayam. Kapalbhati is a cleansing process. No pranayam has any contraindications. It's the person's comorbid situation or the person's ill health or person's psychosomatic illness. If that person practices unwisely, any type of shodhan kriyas without understanding can cause bad results. But Kapalbhati is not a pranayam. Kapalbhati is a shodhan kriya. Please, the person needs to go for proper revision on this area. I know that this has been a myth which has been spreaded. There are 6 types of shodhan kriya: dhoti, nauli, Kapalbhati, then Anulom Vilom when done without Kumbhak becomes again a Shodhan Kriya. Tratak is one. So 6 types of Shodhan Kriya according to Hatha Yoga and 8 types of Pranayam. Kapalbhati is not a Pranayam. And that's why unwise way of practicing this can have adverse effect to a very blood pressure patients.
Thank you, ma'am. Second question is, physiotherapists who are working in COVID in ICU, what type of yoga or pranayam can be helpful?
Yes. See, Ila, it's a real good question that you've asked me. I'm a follower of Ashtanga Yoga. I'm not a follower of Hatha Yoga. Hatha Yoga has explained pranayam. Pranayam is definitely Purak, Kumbhak and Rechak. Please understand this. People are understanding simple inhalation, exhalation as pranayam. The main focus on pranayam is the pause, the Kumbhak. And unless inhalation and exhalation ratio is 1:2, we should not forcefully inculcate the pause. So now when we are in stressful situation, as such our rate, rhythm and depth of breathing gets affected. And then if you say you practice pranayam, it becomes a very unwise way of guiding as a physio student today. But definitely Anulom Vilom Shvasan Kriya is one type of pranayam. So simple, as you say, alternate nostril breathing becomes one of the best to regulate both the energy channels, to strengthen the parasympathetic, which can regulate the sympathetic so that the stress can be diluted, because entering the ICU setup itself to a physio is somewhat stressful. But if you're asking me as yoga, you want something with a technique only, then I would say it's the Anulom Vilom, right? Second, Ujjayi. Ujjayi also can be a useful pranayam. Ut is elevate and Jai is victory. So when you go into the ICU, if you go with that feeling that I am going to do something for the betterment of my patient, and you go with faith, you go with hope, you go with all precautions, you go with all care, you go with the balanced mind, you go with your balanced emotion and your reasoning capacity. That is what all types of pranayam incorporate about. Automatically, the stress level can go down. I never go on the technicality because you are into all this PP kit and you cannot go for all the techniques of placing the fingers on the nostrils and all that. Are you getting my point, what I'm trying to convey? So it is the awareness that is important. So if you want to know pranayam, regulating the vital force through mind regulation and spirit upliftment, faith, hope, positivity, and surrender to Almighty. That is what is pranayam to me. When you enter an ICU setup to take care of your COVID patients, and not the technicality, because there is, when any pranayam we practice as per Hatha Yoga, the technicality has to be followed sincerely. Otherwise, it can have an adverse effect. Don't misunderstand pranayam or don't take pranayam as for granted, because in that situation, whether you're breathing through right nostril or whether you're breathing through left nostril, because when you are in stress, you are going to go more with the right nostril, and that can also be a problem. So Please, certain questions are too technical, and as an Ashtanga Yoga student, I feel that technicality should not be followed, but faith and what other factors that I mentioned needs to be taken care of. That is pranayam, regulating the vital force through breath awareness. Keep faith, go with hope, inculcate positivity, and do your work. Work is worship. And once you have the feeling of doing good to the person, that itself is going to take care of your stress level. Okay, so it is not the stress, it is my stress coping strategies that I should strengthen. That is what yoga facilitates about. Next.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, the third question is, which type of pranayam will be helpful most for the suffering of COVID patient?
Yes. Relaxation postures. There has been lots of debate that was going on, proning and prone lying, and it has been helping for improving the oxygen saturation levels and all that. So definitely the relaxation postures. But as I said, it is too subjective an issue. You don't know at what stage your COVID patient is, whether your COVID patient is on ventilator, whether your COVID patient is recuperating, the COVID patient is having other comorbid situations, or there are other issues. Everything will depend. So I just cannot generalize this type of pranayam will work for COVID. You have to thoroughly evaluate, assess, examine, discuss with the physician, and then go for any type of technical maneuver. But yes, any type of COVID patient is living with insecurity, fear, panic. So I would say as I said, social exercise, social unlocking, communication, encouraging the person to go for either any type of mantra dhyan, mantra of his or her faith, because I have seen in ICU setup that when the person enchants mantra and the monitors, you see oxygen saturation definitely improves. But that has to be done with faith and not ratofy, like you just enchant this mantra. And silence is the best meditation. Going and listening to the patient itself is an outlet. So that also is one type of yoga science or yoga practice that can be incorporated. But as I said, Anulom Vilom is the non-controversial pranayam, and which has no side effect, and you can give to any person, whether for preventive programs, for promotive programs, or for therapeutic. But the other 7 types of pranayam, you need to have a thorough guideline and assessment factor of a person. But for COVID patients, again, it will be very subjective, right? You can go for relaxation.
Thank you very much. Thank
Yes.
you very much. And now the last question will be for both the speakers. What will be your take-home message for our attendees?
Take-home message for
Are all
therapists.
attendees like you? Yeah, therapists.
Yes. See, insomnia is a very big problem today because of stress. It is not the stress, as I said, it is because of our stress coping strategies. So, take home message: before you go to sleep, introspect whatever has happened today because of your thought, speech, and action. Try to analyze where I was wrong and where I need to correct myself, where I was right and where I need to ignore the things that have put me into stressful situation. If we introspect on all these areas, I think so we are taking the responsibility of our own stresses, and that can calm us down. And the second important thing is accept the situation the way it is. It is an era of pandemic. We are physios. We have to work. We have been allotted a duty. I will do with faith. I will do with precaution. I will practice with sincerity, and I will definitely have balance between my family and my work, with my emotions and my reactions, and my expectations and acceptance. And I'm sure I'm going to have my stress eliminated, and I'll have very good volumes of breathing, and which will help me to conserve energy and face challenge in life. So introspection and acceptance, these are the 2 important carry home message as a physio student I would like to share to all my wonderful attendees today. Thank you.
My message will be as simple as Lord Jesus, प्रभु ईसा मसीह कहते हैं, जैसा व्यवहार आप दूसरों से करते हैं वैसा ही खुद के लिए आप, मतलब जैसा खुद के लिए आप एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं वैसा ही आप दूसरों से करिए. It's simple like that. If you believe in something, that it should be the way people should treat you, you should treat them the similar way. This is the idea. So I personally feel being compassionate, being relaxed, being happy is the best thing what we can give to the world. So we need to be giver, and what we can give is the best, is the positivity and the happiness. I always talk about happiness and positivity, and that is what I believe in. We should believe in our existence completely. We should know, we must know that we are here to stay and everything will be fine. As Madam said, everything will be fine, and we all know that everything will be fine. So stay calm, believe in your work, believe in your existence, and be happy always. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Dr. Ila, please unmute yourself.
Ila, we are not able to hear you.
Am I audible?
Yes.
I think
Am I
I was hello.
Yes, Ila, you're audible.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, the final vote of thanks to Poonam ma'am and Dr. Nilima ma'am for such a great topic which was needed for our current situation. Thank you for all the physios, interns and students for your precious time. Hopefully that IAPWC has provided you with some add-on knowledge to manage your stress. Thank you to IAPWC.
Hello.
Dr. Aditi, can you take over?
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you, Poonam ma'am and Dr. Nilima ma'am, for such a great topic, which was much needed for our current situation. Thank you all the physios, interns and students for your precious time. Hope we at IAPWC has provided you with some add-on knowledge to manage your stress. Thank you to IAPWC Maharashtra team and Dr. Sanjeev Jha, Dr. Ruchi Vasne, and IAP India technical team. Thank you to Palghar team for organizing this webinar. Thank you. Kindly fill feedback form that will open on Living Soon meeting. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Poonam ma'am and Nilima ma'am.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.